Hello students. Yes, so in my last video I had explained on one of the main bifurcations under marketable securities, or the avenues available in the prevailing Indian market, that is derivatives. We have now understood what is derivative is all about, and who are the traders involved there, what is the risk factor over there, right? So now we are going to learn one of the forms of derivatives, that is options, the first one under derivatives. Now what is an option is all about? See, it is a contract between two parties where buyer and seller are involved. Here what does it do? An option, it gives the buyer the right, but there is no obligation as such to buy or to sell. That is a certain asset at a specific price, given at any time during the life of that particular contract, right? So it can include, stock, bonds. Stock is something that talks about, a bunch of shares which is bought or which is sold. Fine. So what you have to understand now, what is option a contract? See, option contract is such contract where it gives the owners, the option to purchase. So option given to purchase is called as call option. Instead of using the terms, to buy or to sell, here we use the terms under derivatives called, to purchase, call option. In order to sell, it is called as put option, that is with respect to an asset. So here, with respect to the option contracts, we have two types. One is the call option, another one is the put option. Fine. Here, see, we got to understand certain general concepts under this particular derivative, which is called as an option. See, it contains something called as option buyer, or option holder is also called as. What is this option holder or buyer is liable to? See, he is given the right to buy or sell an asset, that becomes the buyer or the holder. On the other hand, you have option writer or a seller. Now who is he? See here what happens with the, the option writer or the seller. There's an issue option contract where he has an obligation to sell or buy the asset if the option has been exercised by the options holder. That's how the things are going to work with the option writer or the seller. The next step concept what you have to understand under the options is that the strike or the exercise price, right? Both are one and the same. What does it talk about? See here, the price at which the asset can be traded under an option contract, that gives you the strike or the exercise price. Then next up you have something called as a limited time frame, right? This talks about the expiration date, the expiry date, the date at which, an unexercised, option, it becomes invalid. Exercise is something, the price which you are going to trade with. Fine. Expiry is something that the date which an unexercised option becomes, like invalid. And you have something called as price. What is enough price? The premium minus the purchase price of an option, that gives you the price. Now we shall understand what is the option trading is all about. See, trading activity is something where, the current options, they are, traded, which can happen under CBOS, that is Chicago Board Options Exchange, under American Stock Exchange, right? So it's like something like 100 shares per one option contract. That's how you are going to get into, one particular contract as such. So to understand now what is call option is all about. Call option, it is one of the forms, that is types of options. Fine. You have call, you have put option. Now what is call? We should understand that. See, a negotiable instrument, that gives the option, that is for the buyer, who is also called as holder, the right to buy the underlying asset with a, specific price. When I'm using the term specific price, I'm talking about the strike price, or which is also called as exercise price, right? So within a given specific period of time, the option is going to, get expired. So if you will have to understand with an example how this call option is going to work, like buying a stocks we shall take, and what is a stock? A bunch of shares which is a bought, right? Here, say for example, Mr. A, he is going to purchase a call option on the shares of say for example a Wipro company, right? The strike price or the exercise price which is determined, predetermined is let's say for example it is a 40, I'll just take the minimal amount, the 40 rupees, fine. So the expiry date on that can be 31st of December, fine. So the option contract, it gives the right to purchase the 100 shares at a price of 40 rupees on which day? That is December 31st, that is the last day of the year 2020. So what does this option contract do? It is going to give the right to purchase 100 shares where each share cost rupees 40 rupees. So this talks about under call option you have determined the strike price on that day, when you are going to execute your transaction, it is rupees 40, no matter whether the other companies are trading it at 45 or 50, but you are going to do it on a strike price what you have predetermined. So if you ask me, ma'am, when will this right become valuable or when it is going to execute? Only it is valuable if the Wipro is trading above rupees 40 per share on that particular day, that is 31st of December, right? So that's how this particular call option is going to work. And this was one of the simplest example what I quoted for you to have a better the understanding, fine. So the next option what you have is on the put option. Now what is put option is all about? See, an option where the contract in which the holder is nothing but the buyer. See, the buyer where he has the right but he doesn't have any kind of obligation to sell a specified quantity of a security at a specified price is nothing but the predetermined price which is called as strike price or exercise price, that is within a fixed period of time, I mean until it's the expiry or the maturity period. So what happens over here? See, I'll just give you an example under put option. Put option is to sell, right? Example, something like buying insurance policy. There is a person by name ABC. What he says that I would like to buy an insurance policy that is on his truck. Now he wishes to buy an insurance policy on his particular vehicle. He says that for rupees 40,000 rupees. So that person, now what I'm telling, that 40,000 rupees, that 40,000 will be called as a strike price, and what is that insurance policy what he is taking to buy, that becomes his put option. So what is going to happen? His friend XYZ, he says that that will be like 1,500 like option premium for 1 year after the expiry date policy. Now what is going to happen? What happens in between? ABC's vehicle, it is not damaged or it has been stolen as well, right? So here what happens now? ABC says that I would like to he would like to file an insurance claim in order to get the repairs done. Now what is that claim? It talks about the what the exercise on the put option, that is 10,000 in form of repairs. Now ABC's truck is damaged in an accident, right? So what that particular ABC's friend XYZ says, here's like $10,000 like it can be in rupees or dollars for your repairs has been agreed. So what happens now? Then he would like to claim the insurance over there. So again this talks about like how he would like to file an insurance claim, that is to buy a new truck for him. So what he is going to do now his truck is stolen, his vehicle is now stolen. So what this particular XYZ is that here's the 40,000 for a new truck as agreed. So it is something like it acts as an insurance policy where you can replace your particular new item. So that's how the put option is going to work over here under the options. And how these investors are going to use with the options, there we have some concept called as a speculation, where the speculators are involved. They're going to make the bets, they're going to make the guesses on where they believe the market is headed, whether it is a bullish, whether it is a bearish market. They are going to seek the profit from the fluctuating prices of the securities, like a buy low, sell high. Simple a concept, right? So that's how things are going to work. And apart from that, we have something called as hedging. Hedging is all about, it covers the concept of mitigating or minimizing the risk, basically reducing the risk, like buying insurance which acts as a protection for your particular investment what you have taken up against the unforeseen events. That's true. Then reduce the risk which is associated with the uncertainty as well. So that's how the things are going to work under the call option and put option as well. So there is something called as at the money, in the money, and out of the money, which means market price is equal to strike price, whatever the predetermined price what we have made, and the market price, if it is one and the same on the day of transaction or executing the transaction, it is called as at the money. What is in the money? Under call option, even the strike price, it is less than the market price of the underlying security. Say for example, that day the market price is 40 rupees, but the strike price what you have fixed is 35 rupees. That talks about in the money, right? Whereas put option, when the strike price is greater than the market price of the underlying security. Example, where the strike price what you have set is 50 rupees, but market price on that day it is 45 rupees, so you are letting go of 5 rupees extra. Next up, you have out of the money, whereas in the money is said to be the positive intrinsic value, right? See, when entire market is buying at 40, you are going to buy it at 38 rupees, right? So then out of the money, which is a zero intrinsic value as well, where you have call option when the strike price is greater than the market price of underlying security. When entire market, I'll give you example, when entire market, you have now dealt with, you have gotten into a contract with a vendor stating that I want so and so kg, that 10,000 kgs of mangoes, fine, you are going to deliver the transaction in the month of say for example March 2021. So you both the parties, that is buyer and the seller, they are going to get into a contract that they are going to predetermine on the price, stating that each, that is per kg, I want mangoes at the rate of 60 rupees. Now connecting with this, they have predetermined as a 60 rupees, right? So when that is your strike price or the exercise price what you have predetermined on the day, that is in the month of March, that is entire market, it is selling the mangoes at the rate of 65 rupees, but you are going to buy it, and the person is going to sell at 60 rupees. So here, for whom it is a loss? It is for the seller, because entire market is selling, or it is buying at rupees 60, the 65, sorry, where you have predetermined the price at 60 rupees. So for seller, it is a loss of 5 rupees per kg, fine. Then the put option, where the exercise price what you have predetermined, it will be less than the market price of the underlying security, right? So this is how the things are going to work under the options, that is put option. The first one is call option, then comes the put option, right? So where you have the right to buy or sell, but there is no obligation as such in order to buy or sell.